Yes, but again, now Islamic. So the question is, the supervisors at Walter Reed Army Hospital, which is, Walter Reed, of course, is not quite part of that Bethesda thing, but it's just a few miles away. They have a meeting where they ask, is Major Hasan a psychotic? And, of course, the answer to that is yes. The big question then is, here is somebody who almost automatically has to have at least a secret-level security clearance. Any Army officer, according to what I've been able to find, has to have at least a security clearance of secret. He may have had more. He may have had top secret. He may have had, key and code, cosmic, NATO level, whatever. But at least secret. So the thing is, when you do these egregious things and say, we love life more than you love death, that's when somebody's going to come and investigate you, if only for the security clearance.
Hey, if you have bad credit, you can't get a low-level security clearance. Right. He's running around saying, I love Al-Qaeda.
Right.
And they're just like, protecting. And then you've got the drill being reported. Webster, stay there. We're going to finish up with the MO, what you believe really happened, and why they did this. Webster Tarpley, our guest. Okay, Webster, continue from the point we left off at.
A couple of things that are interesting is that Major Hasan is exchanging emails with this character, Awlaki. And Awlaki is obviously a kind of Pied Piper for patsies. He was a patsy minder for Hani Hanjour. That's the Pentagon pilot, supposedly, if you believe that he could do those feats of flying, which is completely impossible.
Yeah, all the top pilots have said it's a complete fraud. Go ahead.
Awlaki is also a part of entrapping the Fort Dix Six, as well as this group of dupes in Toronto who took delivery of all that fertilizer, right, from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So Awlaki is obviously a provocateur. Now,
and it goes on and on and on and on, and Al-Qaeda was admittedly set up by the CIA, Brzezinski. I mean, it's incredible.
We also have that there is this Joint Terrorism Task Force where the information about Hasan exchanging emails with Awlaki, the patsy Pied Piper, this was made available, but between the FBI and the Defense Criminal Investigation Service, they decided that this was not relevant and that the commanding officer of the base there at Fort Hood should not be told. So you have all of this. The other thing is, just like Muhammad Atta, Hasan cannot be a Muslim. Hasan is someone who goes to strip clubs. He frequents the Stars strip club there in Killeen, Texas. He buys lap dances. He comes in with a six-pack of beer and drinks some of it and gives the rest to the strippers. Like Atta, he prefers blondes. Remember, Atta was cohabiting with this woman.
And by the way, that means it's really a raunchy club, because in Texas, the ones where you bring your own liquor in are the totally nude.
Okay, well, that's where he goes. So he's been there at least 2 or 3 times during the month of October. So this is it's a complete farce. Now, in terms of what happened, I can't tell you exactly what happened. There are at least 2 scenarios. One is that Hasan is simply a psychotic dupe who is told that he's going to take part in a drill, because based on the testimony from these soldiers, these drills are done on an ad hoc basis. They're frequent, and they can come up at any time.
And they're on record believing it was a drill. They all thought that.
They said, it was what we've been through before. They do this all the time. We have drills. They thought they were rubber bullets. So Hasan might have thought, hey, I'm going to go and be an actor in a drill today. I'm going to play the Islamic fundamentalist who opens fire. So, of course, he's going to get up on a chair and yell, Allahu Akbar, because that's the script. But then the technicians show up, and the technicians would be other shooters who actually are capable of efficient shooting, right? More than 100 shots. That's too much for one person, I think. Even if he's surrounded by unarmed soldiers, those are still combat veterans. They can tackle him or come after him or whatever it is. The other possibility is that Hasan has been put through Clockwork Orange brainwashing, and that takes us back to Virginia Tech, Blacksburg, Virginia. There's something going on at Blacksburg.
And by the way, that exists. That's been declassified. That stuff is real.
Right, and we know that we've seen Cho kill 32 people plus himself. We also had, at the same Virginia Tech campus, a Chinese graduate student had her head cut off. She was
and I got to stop you. This was confirmed. We first reported it here from students that live there. They kept having Marine Corps drills with the Marine Corps ROTC of shooting drills and takeovers, and people thought that that was happening again.
Very, very, very interesting. And then, of course, there was also recently 2 murders at Virginia Tech in August. So Virginia Tech is one strange place. So that would be the possibility that Major Hasan had been put through some kind of heavy-duty Clockwork Orange brainwashing so that he was a Manchurian candidate, and if you tell him the code word, he starts shooting. That's possible. But even there, he could be like Sirhan. All indications are Sirhan really had a gun and really shot, but that wouldn't have been enough. In other words,
and by the way, the L.A. Police Department, for those that don't know, the coroner, they all said it was not the caliber that RFK was shot with. He was shot in the back. Turns out that guy was CIA. Other CIA people were photographed there. This is even mainstream news now that Sirhan was a patsy.
So the idea is that even if Hasan is a brainwashed patsy who goes there and shoots, to make sure that they get the effect, they've got other shooters who are much more capable, trained marksmen, professional killers.
Or he could just be a radical Muslim extremist that they guided and allowed to attack.
It's possible, though. I think that's probably the least likely.
But we know they knew, according to their own story, and let him do it.
Correct. So there's the question is, who in the Defense Intelligence Agency, who in the FBI, and who in this NIH Walter Reed Uniformed Services, who are the people who blocked any investigation or actions, because those might be the moles.
And then the final question, why'd they stage it? Straight ahead, Infowars.com has his article, Major Hasan at a Fort Hood, a patsy, and a drill gone live.